actually as you're building this business. So let's jump into this. We're about 12 minutes behind, but I want to welcome everyone on the team call tonight. We've sort of combined two calls. Many of you guys have been in our 8-week series, which we have called Rise Up. And we've been rising up for the last 8 weeks. And that's why we're seeing so many people that are having tremendous success. But we wanted to do something special tonight. So many of us, in fact, about 67, 68 of us, just from my organization, and I know Karen Elstrom, who we're going to bring on in a second, had closer to probably 80 from her entire group at something called Go Global. And I know there's so many new coaches that are on the line right now. You have no clue what Go Global is. Go Global is an upper level leadership conference that's just amazing. It invites all those coaches that have reached the rankings of executive director and above, and it gives them a chance to start the beginning steps of growing into conscious leadership. So we wanted to combine basically the spirit, the essence of Go Global in addition to our Rise Up Bootcamp. And that's why so many of you guys have been invited on. Generally, we've just had hundreds of people join in our Rise Up Bootcamp, but we want to open this up to everyone. So welcome to tonight. It's a special night. I want to move out of the way, and I want to bring on Presidential Director Karen Elstrom to really kick off tonight to set the foundation for someone that's been around as long as she's had. She's worked with so many people. She's helped mentor so many people, including me, but she's also seen this company really start to move and transform and really grow up in a sense. And so would really love to hear from you, Karen, hear your takeaways and sort of how was this week maybe transformational to you for someone that has so much infinite wisdom and had a chance to be around for so long. So are you there, my friend?
I am here. Thank you.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Wow is all I can say about Go Global. What an incredible event. And this is my 8th Go Global. 8 years. Actually, I've been eligible for 9, but one of them, my son got married, and so I wasn't at. The only excuse you have for not going, by the way. And it's interesting because every year when you complete Go Global, it's like, wow, this is so amazing. This was the best one yet. But I can tell you that I have never, ever experienced what I experienced this time. And those of you that were there, put a 1 in the chat if this was like an amazing experience for you, that you felt like we were all on the same page, that you felt the energy and the direction of our company has just made a huge shift, a huge shift. Even people that this is your first event you've ever gone to, you could feel the magic. Many years have been spent moving Optavia to this very, very place. And this particular event is transformational. And you can just feel it. And I can't even imagine what's in store for us because of what I see. When I see the excitement in Dan Bell, who's usually fairly calm, and he's a numbers guy. He did our compensation plan. He is so excited. I talked to him privately for a little while, and he just said, we are on the greatest trajectory. Brian Drollinger, I talked to him. He's been with Optavia for, 18 years, I believe. He said, I have never felt like this. I am so excited. We are one company, one direction, huge goal. We truly, you guys, we are part, every one of you that can hear my voice, you are part of a world-class company. Heading into the international market, oh my gosh, it's going to be huge. And really, isn't the most difficult thing opening the first door into an international market? Once we hit Singapore and Hong Kong as our first spot, it will just take off. It was so cool at Go Global because they wanted us to remember the moment, the very moment that we have decided to go international. It was a great presentation, but they had all the flags of all the countries marching through our conference, and it just opened up your heart like, oh my gosh, what is possible? Be thinking about who you know, who your connections are in other countries, because you get to build a bridge from here to there. and really create something that is just going to be amazing for you. And this is truly what is in my heart. After seeing the evolution, after knowing where I've come from 8.5, almost 9 years ago, and all the things that we've gone through and what is in place now, you guys, you have so many amazing tools. You have such a great family of coaches and leadership that you truly can do whatever you want, whatever you want. And I really, really want every one of you to be part of this explosion. I want you to be part of the energy, part of the success. And do you really realize, I mean, do you really believe it is available to every single one of you? Every single one of you. And honestly, the thought that maybe not everyone will be with us makes me really sad. It makes me really sad because I know how easy it is. All you have to do is to follow the steps laid out for you already. I mean, it's all right there. And don't get left behind, you guys. The train is definitely leaving the station and you do not want to be left behind. So what's the next thing you can do? Get to convention. If you want more, if you want to be more, if you want to have more, if you have a huge goal, or even if you're not even sure what your goal is and you want to make it happen, just get there. This is truly where the magic happens. We could tell you, you're going to hear takeaways from Go Global, but I have yet to tell someone a takeaway from an event and they're like, woohoo, that sounds so awesome. That is the best thing ever, right? It's like, it made me think of on Wednesday, we went to Universal Studios and Michael Smith and Dennis Baker and Don Donnelly and I, we rode the, what is that big, huge green roller coaster? I mean, we were screaming and yelling and carrying on. And probably if I described that to you, the Hulk, thank you. The Hulk, I bet you if I described that ride to you, not one single person would be screaming like we were screaming on that roller coaster. It's the same thing. You want to be there to truly experience the magic. And what ends up happening is we spend a lot of time trying to decide if we should go. Oh man, should I go to convention? I don't know. Can I figure it out? Just make the decision to go. Spend your time on making a list of who you're taking with you. And there's a client track too. So you can take your clients, you can take your coaches. Just make it happen. Get excited, get totally wrapped around who's going to be going. You want to be part of this amazing energy that explodes your team. If you're not registered, as soon as we finish this call, the 5-second rule, right? Register. And then let your mentor coach know that you did. Because knowing what to do will never be enough. Knowing what you need to do will never be enough. If you truly don't start doing the things that you don't feel like doing, you're going to wake up 1 year from today, and guess what? You're going to be exactly in the same place that you are today. So join us. Make it happen. We're excited. Join our family. Truly join our family at convention. We're going to have over 500 people there, right, Jamil? At least. And start thinking about 5 people that you're going to take with you. What do we have? 150 on this call? Each of you make a commitment. Who are your 5? You don't have to know them this minute, but just make the plan and make it happen. I'm excited for all of you. We have some amazing things happening.
I love it. So one of the things that I loved about this Go Global was there were so many new people, and not just the new people that were there that were in our group, but of the maybe 15, the 1,400, 1,500 people there. It's a new ball game. It's new people that are coming into the business, and these guys are they're catching the vision and they're going very, very, very swiftly because they're following a simple system. And it's a system that we teach. It's a system that we've masterminded, and it's a system that we train on every single week. And one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted this group to experience Go Global through the eyes of brand new coaches. And so I've asked some of them to come on and speak tonight and really share what this meant to them. And not maybe just takeaways, but what it meant for maybe a change of heart, maybe a change of mind, maybe a change of vision, maybe a change in what they're actually capable of and a sort of legacy that they could leave for their family. So the first person I want to bring off is Annika Relaford. Many of you guys know her. what's special about Annika is her and her team actually have a chance to go global this month, which is amazing because they barely reached FIBC last month. And so to barely reach FIBC and then have a chance to go global the next month is pretty incredible, but they put in the work. So Annika, my friend, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you? Gosh,
Great.
I'm freezing out here, so sorry about that. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Good. You guys, I got to tell you, you have to go to every single event that you're able to go to. I have never experienced anything in my entire life as motivating and awe-inspiring and loving and caring from people that we know in our family here as coaches, but people that we've seen on calls, to the president of the company, to the CEO, to, I mean, just people in other coaching groups. What I felt this weekend was exactly what every single person in this world needs. We need that connection. We need that love. We need that growth. We need that inspiration. It was beyond anything that I could have ever imagined. And it was interesting because I brought my husband Jeremiah with me. And it wasn't that he wasn't against this in the beginning. He was definitely for it. But what he really caught was the vision of what Optavia is. And I don't think that you can truly get that through anything else. I really don't. You get to hear these stories about other people and their experiences through Optavia and what it's done for them. Guys, I came onto this thinking, just a weight loss program. I really did, but it wasn't. What I realized was that every single person in this world is in the position that they are in. Sorry, people are trying to call me. Um, people are in this situation because of the financial stress and the mental places that they've been in for so long, their belief systems. What if you can change that for somebody? Everybody can change their stars. Do the work. Do it anyways, like we say, because you know what? Everything that we want is on the other side of fear. And I just want to tell you that every single connection that I made this weekend from people that had been on Zooms before and then I got to meet them in person, they're real. They want to help. They love you. They care for you. And that's all I want to do is give that back to every single person. The love and the compassion and the joy. Guys, it was on fire. If you guys know me, I go to bed at 9:00 at night. I was up until 2, 3 in the morning and up at 4 in the morning because I had so much energy and passion for the things, the knowledge, the love that we all share. You have to go. Karen's right. You have to go to every single event. There were so many takeaways that I couldn't even fit them all into this. But I just want you guys to know everything that you want is possible with this. Be Optavia. Don't just do Optavia. Be it. Thanks, Jamal.
Absolutely. Thank you. Could you guys feel it in her? I don't know where is she heli skiing? She's jumping off of a cliff right now or something. Thank you so much, Annika. Really appreciate you. Let's take this and let's head on out to the East Coast and let's hear from another brand new coach who is just doing really big things. I had a chance to hang with her for the first time this weekend, which is one of the things that's so special about these sort of gatherings is because I probably have met maybe 20 to 30 of our coaches for the first time, which was really weird because I see you guys all the time. So, and you can tell that it feels like family really, really fast. So, Corey, my friend, are you there and can you spend some time with us?
I am. Thank you, Jamil. Hi, everybody.
For those of you that may not know me, I'm relatively new to this, but my name is Corey Matheson, and I am a certified health coach. I started with Optavia last July, and this was my first Go Global event, and actually my first Optavia event. And honestly, team, I want to be real for just a quick minute before I go into a couple of my takeaways, because this event was seriously eye-opening. Like Karen mentioned a few minutes ago, you could just feel the energy and the magic in the room the entire time. Optavia has just such an amazing vision to get the world healthy. This was my first opportunity meeting Dr. A in person, and he was so inspiring and honestly brought me to tears on, probably an embarrassing amount of occasions. And he just has such a passion for helping people, expanding this company globally so we can help people all over the world. For me, I started health coaching as, like most of us do, as a little side business to get my mom and my sister healthy. And now I can see so clearly that with the amazing support of the people on this team and with the mentors that we have, this can be a future where I can give up my day job. I can spend more time with my kids. I'm officially seeing the life of freedom that I know Jamil talks about all the time. I can now see it after going to this event. So a couple of takeaways that I took from this was honestly that you've all got to get to convention in July. I know that, this has been hit home already, and we've only been on this call for 15 minutes, but I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I didn't think I was going to be able to swing getting to convention this year. I work a full-time day job. I had some work trips planned. I've got 2-year-old twins. I didn't think it was possible. I'm making it possible. So I felt so motivated leaving there. My coach and I are on our plane ride home. We're booking, we're looking at flights and hotels and booking things. And part of the reason I definitely want to get there was because it was amazing to meet so many members of this team in person. We see each other all the time virtually, but it was so exciting to be able to spend time together in person, learn from each other, laugh together, cry together, celebrate this amazing success of the people on this team, and just share each other's stories. For me, and it may be this case for many of you, health coaching can sometimes get a little bit lonely when you spend your days behind, your laptop screen or your iPad or your phone. But it was such an amazing opportunity to meet our health coaching friends in person and, be able to honestly to pick the brains of some of the best people in this business. And these people really care about all of us. So, everybody, just to hit it home, get to convention in July, get off this call, book your hotel, get your plane tickets, purchase your convention tickets, and let's get together and change some lives. This is going to be a great way to meet your mentor teams if you haven't been able to do that already. And just to be able to see all that you can get from Optavia. You can't get all that from the comfort of sitting in your house at your desk. You got to get out there and you got to get to convention. Second, huge takeaway for me is a word we hear all the time in this business on these boot camps, but it's all about consistency, guys. I sat through so many trainings of some of the highest level people in this business that wanted to help us. And the same message from all of them was be consistent. Do your 3x3x3s every day, check in with your business every day, do your maps at the beginning of the month, attend all the boot camps, keep yourself organized and follow up consistently. Your business coach has done this before you. Follow the steps that they have put out there for you. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Stick with what they are telling you, and you're going to be successful. These people have all done this before us. They have done this so well. And so by being consistent, we are able to make such great strides in our own business, and we'll be able to help so many people. So I'm so excited for convention. I hope to see so many of you there in July. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to get on here.
You're very welcome. We got to do it more often, man. You're a firecracker. I love it.
Oh gosh. Thanks, Jamil.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much. So, let's go to the state of Texas now, and let's bring on another amazing team. It was my first time meeting them also in person, even though I'm part of their mentorship line. And we actually got to spend probably a good 3-4 hours of building out their game plan on how they're going to advance their structure. I believe them and their team are going to reach the first month of fully integrated business coach this month. but I drew out step by step of how in the next 4 to 5 months, them and their teams could actually go global. And I fully expect to see it happen because it's possible, and it's just not that hard to do if you do what Corey said, which is to be consistent. So I want to bring on Nick and Kirsten LaValle. Are you guys there tonight?
Yes, we are.
We are.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What up?
Well, first of all, I gotta say, it just brings these Zooms to a whole nother level when you've actually met these people. Like, it just, there's no explanation. We are so grateful that we went. And I got to start out by saying it was a sacrifice. Most of you know we have 5 kids. Our grocery bill alone is like more than our mortgage. So we really had to, plan for this. And it was a struggle, but we did it. And I am so thankful. Some of my takeaways were just, one thing that Dr. Anderson said, or one of them said, is that, you can help a heck of a lot of people, but don't you want to know the company that you represent? And that is why it is so important to go to these events, because you could listen to these Zooms, you could hear Dr. A's calls, but being there in person is a whole new level. And it really opened our eyes to what an amazing company this is, with so much integrity. Getting to talk to Dr. A, watching him look deep into Nick's soul as he was talking to him, like no one else in the world existed. It was just him and Nick, and I was sitting there watching, and I was brought to tears because he spoke so much life into him. And he's just so caring and compassionate, yet he's so just direct and spot on. Some of the takeaways I got from him is learn to say no. You are always responsible. Choose the outcome that moves you forward. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. And if you're having a pity party, get over it or go suck your thumb. And then another takeaway I got from Lori Anderson, who's amazing just as much as he is she said, let your heart lead you, and before you know it, you'll have an army of people on your sleeve. So we're looking forward to having that army.
All right. So my takeaways, right? So, man, you said you only had one thing. Chickadee, check yourself. All right. So we got a whole bunch of stuff that compiled itself on the last day, right? So we had this unplugged section with Dr. A, and he talked about structural tension in an elevator. I'm not going to go over the story, but what it did was it brought it into perfection, what the point is, and structural tension. I have my band. I'm still wearing it. I still wear it. Structural tension was so important. You can apply this to everything: your personal growth, your business, your workouts, your schooling, your marriage, your children, your parenting. You can apply it to everything. It was beautiful. I was able to dissect that with Jamil in that 3 to 4 hours he was talking about. And it was fantastic because we were able to roadmap and map the business, do our structural tension, and really figure out what we need to do, where we want to be, where we are, current reality versus expectation. It was fantastic. My heart has been changed, I will tell you, because, and I wrote some bullet points of what to talk about. So my heart's been changed because for me personally, I walked in there nervous. Jamil, nod your head if I text you and told you I'm nervous. I told you flat out I'm nervous because I'm still on my journey. And I was freaking out thinking everyone's going to be like, oh, he's still fat. I didn't know that because his face doesn't look as fat as his body does. So because the Zooms, I know, Jamil, I know. So anyway, but the reality is that for me personally, I went in there with my own prejudged notions and preconceived notions of how it was going to be. And the reality of what it was totally different. Y'all, I'm telling you right now, everyone that you see in the little squares, get out of the view and go into gallery view. Look at every single person that you can see here. I promise there's 7 pages of them if you're looking at it on a computer. I am telling you right now, every single one of these people is authentic, wants to change, wants to see you succeed as much as they want to succeed. And that is what I took away from this weekend as well. And the leadership of our company is not only poignant in their delivery and style, but they're also contemporary. They're up to date. They're matching our business with technology, and they're supporting us through a way that no other company has. And I've seen them. They also are relevant. They are funny, intelligent, and personable. And they are exactly the same. They're mission-minded. And if you know what mission-minded is, man, you are talking about people that want to go out and make a difference in a land somewhere. So cold, hard fact is It changed my whole outcome. It hit me to the core. I know my time's up. I'm stealing the mic. No, I'm kidding. I'll be done in a second. The reality is, though, is that I personally am changed to the core because I know now on a deeper level the care that flows in this team and in this organization as a whole. It's not something that's topical. It's not all surface. We talked about deep things and people shed tears. I watched a lady with a hula hoop fail on stage and the whole audience started clapping. Not because she failed, but because they wanted her to know that they support her on her journey and her failures. And she picked that hula hoop back up and she got back on the stage and she fixed what she was doing. And that's something that no one talked about the whole weekend, but I saw it and I heard it. And it put something deep inside me where I realized that success is something that you have to want. We all want it for each other, but you have to want it. Your team has to want it, and they're going to need it. And getting together like this is super, super exciting because it hits you on a deeper level than ever before. I got so much more to say, but that's it.
I love you guys, man. That passion is crazy. And, that's what you need. People want a secret sauce. And I think one of the things that makes Justin Navini, almost presidential director, so successful is he has energy and he has passion. If you just have that and you go and you take that energy and passion and go put it into people, I guarantee you this is one of the easiest things in the world. So I want to finish out our last story, our last takeaway from another young woman who, I met her once before, but one of the cool things is as a family, as a party, we have a team night. And in our team night, we really had fun. If you guys were there in the team night and you had a blast, put a 2 in the chat group right now. I mean, I don't even know if I slept that night, but it was just insane. But one of the people that I had an opportunity to get to know more is Kelly Floyd. So we asked her to come on and really share her heart and some of her takeaways. So Kelly, are you there?
I'm here. So yeah, I had a lot of fun at team night, as many of you know.
Yes, you did.
It was a good time. It was a good time. And like others have said, I slept very little. I woke up early. I went to bed late. I think some of the best learning that I had take place for me was outside of the sessions. And the sessions were amazing. I learned so much about how easy this can be and how duplicatable our business is, and if you just do the steps. But honestly, for me, it was more just a mind shift and a heart shift. I have had a tough year in this past year, and I thank the Lord, honestly, for my team and my mentorship, who have really helped me and got me through this time. And so here I was at this Go Global event, and I just did until I came, and I was at convention, so I know like the energy is amazing. But until I came to this, like I didn't know how to dream as big as I needed to dream. And I'm not going to talk about when I was there. I'm going to talk about when I actually got home. I came home and I sat on the couch with my kids, and they were all on top of me, and they were like, Mama, what did you learn? And I said, guys, I think I maybe just made a decision to change the trajectory of our lives. I think that I just have learned how to make our lives big and different and better than they ever could have been. My mind is bigger. My heart is bigger. I had a conversation this morning with one of my roadblocks of, I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist, and I was really worried about eventually leaving that job because of what it means to me. But I had a conversation with one of my bosses who happens to also be my client, and I started to dream big with her in a way that I would have never dreamed big before this. I don't even know if I talked to her about it. And we dreamed big about what Optavia could do for the little children that I help every day, the things that I could do in that way. And I never even dreamed what was possible. And so I just want to share that with you, that, you know, you go to these events, you meet these people, and these people are amazing and they are inspiring, but they help awaken your mind and your spirit and your heart. And they tell you what is possible. And guys, big things are possible for all of y'all. We need to just dream bigger, because we can help so many people, not just getting a healthy body, not even just getting a healthy mind and healthy finances, but I mean, we can help people in an even bigger way. If you help enough people, you can give so much back to the world, to your community, in a way that I can't do as just a little speech language pathologist. But as a health coach, I can, because I'll have the means to do it. I'll have the vehicle to do it. And that's honestly what I learned. That was my biggest takeaway, is just to dream big. You can truly change the trajectory of your life. So do it. And that's all.
I got goosebumps, man. You know, when I left my first national convention, it was just, and Kelly, thank you for that. I mean, incredible. And I want to thank Kelly. I want to thank your mentor, Emily Flores, because I know she's been a big part of your journey. And she was reaching out to me today, and she said, "We got to get Kelly on. We got to get Kelly on. We got to get Kelly on." And at first, I said, "We're full to the max," and she was like, "No, we got to get her on." And I said, "Let's get her on." And now I understand why. You know, you're at I talk a lot about a tipping point. And many, many coaches, Kelly, have tipping points, not just in their lives, but in their business, to where they've been teeter-tottering on making a decision, and this decision is going to completely change everything. You're there. And once it tips, it explodes. And all it is make a decision. Look, coaching is not challenging. When a coach finally makes a decision, Kelly, that they want to go executive director, I have seen them do it in 6 days. I have seen them do it in 10 days. It is merely making a decision. When they make a decision, they want to go global director, it happens in an instant. When I was presidential director and I finally made a decision to go integrated presidential director, it literally, I made the decision in February. By middle of April, we were integrated presidential directors. So you're at a tipping point, my friend, and many, many, many coaches in this organization are. And I'm very, very excited for you, because there's some things that are going on, and it is about to change. Watch. You know, when I left my first national convention, I came home and I had no clue what I had in my hands. And I came home, and back then we didn't have Zoom, you guys, but I used freeconferencecall.com. And for many of you guys that have been on maybe our March Madness series and things like that, you've experienced that conference line. I sent a message to probably 15 to 20 members of my family, and I said, "You guys, I think I finally found it. I found how we could change everything." And it was about maybe like 11 people that got on that call, and none of them at the time understood what I was talking about. And almost 6 years later, some of them still don't understand, and it breaks my heart, because what we have is so incredible. And it's just really, really special. So my hope is that all of us start to understand what exactly it is that we actually have. So how do we do this then? There is a formula, and we're going to spend the next probably 25 minutes sort of giving you guys a big, big piece of this puzzle. There's no secret to how to go out there and help transform a tremendous amount of lives. First of all, it comes down to making a decision. It comes down to being consistent. It comes down to doing the work. A big part of that is doing the number one thing that helps us actually go out there and touch more people, and actually helps us build our business. And if you guys know the word that I'm about to say, put it in the chat group. There's one simple way. It's the number one way that we drastically explode our businesses. And if you know what that is, please put it in the chat group. And what we haven't done in the past, and what we what we, for years, probably my first 4 or 5 years of coaching, we didn't do a great job with as an organization, is actually extend our reach through the vehicle and the methodology of bringing on more coaches to help us do that. We have gotten really, really good. We're working on a 1-to-1 ratio, which is good, but it is not great. And the way that we go out there and drastically change our communities, our cities, our states, eventually the world, is we need more help. We just do. And the way that we drastically change the trajectory of our financial states, and not just for us, but for our kids' kids, is we do it by bringing on partners, lots and lots and lots of them. So I've asked Global Director Emily Flores to come on and start to teach us something that's hyper important. So please get out a piece of paper, get out a pen, a pencil, a typewriter, a keyboard, whatever it is that you need. But do not miss what she's about to tell you, because it comes with a sense of this is a skill, what she's about to teach, and it takes practice. And it's the number one way to help people move forward in a continuum to actually joining us in this mission and going out there and helping more people live a healthier life. Emily is going to tell you step by step how to go out there and drip, layer, and plant seeds, because as we know, the majority of folks are not going to say, yeah, pick me, I want to become a coach. That's my lifelong dream. When I was like 3 years old and they asked me, what do you want to be when you grew up? I said coaching. No one says that. I mean, stop it. That's just not going to happen. So we have to know the skills to actually prime and pump that. So Emily Flores, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So I feel like my voice is shaking, and it's not because I'm nervous, but I'm literally so pumped up by what everyone was talking about that I'm like, my hands are shaking, and I feel like my voice is going to shake too. I'm okay. I feel like I'm at a tipping point too. And yeah. So, I was exactly what Jamil, I'm a product of that mindset of, we weren't real good at sponsoring. And in fact, I had made a very strong decision that just because that sounded like a lot of work. And I got my first coach, not because, and I was like, oh God, I guess I'm going to have a coach. So it wasn't something I knew how to do, and I was kind of avoiding, to be honest, but obviously that's changed since, and hopefully I can share some tips on that. So before I even get into specific actions, I just want to let you guys know that, in my opinion, sponsoring is 100% a mindset. So it's not, we can tell you, oh, do this, do that. But if your mindset isn't a positive one that expects that every single person you speak to is going to want to speak to you back, none of this is going to matter. So I want all of you to kind of get rid of the garbage in your head that's telling you you're scared, they're going to think you're weird, it's not serving you. So I want you to expect that everyone is going to want to speak to you. I want you to expect that everyone is interested and wants to join you. And I want you to start seeing these people as coaches before they are. So I don't care if they're clients. I don't care if they're thin already and you think they're healthy. None of this matters. So first, the mindset. So that's number one. But getting into specific skills, I would say providing good client support is kind of the bottom of this foundation. If you aren't talking to your clients every single week, how are you ever going to find out truly why coaching would be life-changing for them? It's just not possible. So something fun that I always talk about is trying to learn something new about your client every single week. That's key. If you are only discussing weight lost or weight gained every single check-in, you are not only doing them a huge disservice, but you're not going to help yourself get more coaches and increase your sponsoring, because it's not about the weight, guys. This is a relational business. And as soon as I realized, because I was a therapist in my past life, I was like, oh my God, I don't need to be like the world's perfect health coach and know all the answers. And I don't even have to make these check-in calls about weight. I was like, oh, I got this. I can just be a good friend. I can just get to know these people. And Kelly, who spoke, is a perfect example of that. Our check-ins were like 2 seconds about how was your week in terms of health. And the rest was me just getting to know about her kids, about her husband, about her life. And that's how we built such a strong friendship before she even became a coach. So do yourself a favor and stop focusing so much on checking in about how much weight they lost that week. And don't be afraid to mention coaching right away from the jump. So pretty much every single pre-start call, actually, I would say even at the end of an Explore when they're ready to sign up, I'm already talking about coaching, but for sure, I'm talking about it during their pre-start call. So I'm already posturing. I'm letting them know, listen, your weight is going to start falling off. So just be ready because everyone is going to start asking you what you're doing. And then I tell them what they're going to say. Because if you don't, you know that they're going to get into, I eat powdered food and it costs $400 a month, which we don't want them to do. So I just let them know when your friends and family start beating down your door wanting to know what you're doing, you have one of two options. The first is you're more than welcome to refer to me and I give a $25 wellness credit to you, or we can talk about you possibly coaching them yourself. That's all. I don't get into any more than that, but I let them know that it's an option because if you don't, they are going to think they have to be at the perfect weight. They have to have met their goal. No one thinks that they can coach right from the get-go. A few, but not many. So we have to remind them and let them know. The next thing would be client celebration calls. If you are not doing your 1 week celebration call, that's a big part of the problem. So I get every single person on a celebration call with Jamil or Karen or Becky, somebody. I get them on with my own coaches. It doesn't matter. But it's happening. And it's not just happening for clients that I think would make good health coaches. It's a service that should be given to every single person because maybe you're a new coach and you can't exactly, we call them trilogy glasses. Like maybe you can't see what would make them a great coach. But your mentor will, and your mentor will be able to point out people. There were people that Jamil was like, oh, that's a coach. And I was like, what the heck? Like he talked to them for 10 minutes. How does he know that? It's because I didn't think like that yet. And so getting them on with your mentor, they're going to let you know, like, keep your eye on this person. They're amazing, or how it could fit in or whatever. So recommendation, when you do that pre-start call with them before they start, just set up a time at, okay, you're starting this Monday, next Monday, when are you available? Let's set up your client celebration call now. Because if you wait until the day before their week mark, your mentor probably won't have times available. So do it a week ahead, and that's huge. So some of the more soft skills that we talk about, like layering and dripping and how to do that. And remember when I say this stuff, like I've found a way to make it my own, and you need to do that too. So you aren't going to read this like a script. You're going to say it in a way that makes sense to you, in a language that makes sense to you. I'm super goofy and kind of silly, so I have a way that I do it, and that may not be your deal. So whatever works for you, but it's little things. So these are little things that you're going to say over time, because the first time you tell someone you think they should coach, most likely they're going to say you're crazy. So don't be deterred and say, oh, I guess I'll cross that person off my list. They said no. I mean, who says yes right away? Like only the crazy ones. And I mean, crazy good, but like nobody says yes right away. None of us, like he said, none of us were like at career day in kindergarten saying, I want to be a health coach someday. Hopefully our kids will, because they get it now, but that was not what I wanted to be for sure. So get used to them saying they're not ready and just be okay with that. You guys got to get a little more detached from like, oh, they said no. Like, no, they said not yet. Just like someone you do an Explore call with. So just little things like saying, talking about coaching and saying, most people do pay it forward at some point, or saying, someday you're going to make an awesome coach whenever you're ready. If you're seeing people on your client site that are like answering questions like a champ, like you're just seeing people stand out in the client group, let them know. Thank you so much. Like you're such an encouraging voice in our group and we really appreciate you. I know I haven't mentioned it yet, but we should really think about a time to explore coaching. Keyword explore. Like, you don't have to just like attack someone and tell them you should coach, but saying, hey, would you be down to explore coaching with my mentor coach? We're not asking them to do it today. We're just saying, can we talk about it? And most people are totally open to exploring. So referral credits, letting them know that you give $25 referral credit, or I can teach you to coach, and that's going to make you more like 60 to 75 bucks. So you should think about it, because as much as I love referrals, they're going to order with me and come to you and ask you how to do it. So I'm more than happy to get paid for that, but I think you should, because you're going to be doing all of the work. That seems to really strike a chord with a lot of my clients. They're like, oh, like that's a huge discrepancy. 25 bucks is great. And I see their eyes light up with, I could give you $25 wellness credit. And then I tell them what they could make as a coach. And they're like, oh my gosh. Like, some people think that we health coach for free. They don't even know that we get paid. So when they hear that, wow, we actually get paid, that's exciting for them. So just using words like explore, inviting them to, if you have events nearby, obviously inviting them. Sending trilogy Zooms is huge. We have all these events all the time, live Facebook things. Send those to people. Use it as a tool. So lastly, what I'll mention is just living out loud. And I know we hear this all the time, live out loud, live out loud. But what I want to suggest that you do right after this Zoom is to look at your Facebook profile and pretend that you're not you. And as you're looking at what you're presenting on Facebook, I want you to think, what would someone who didn't know me think when they look at my Facebook profile? Would they even know that I'm a health coach? Would they know that I'm a health coach, but that maybe I'm selling some kind of weight loss thing? Or would they look and, yeah, they see some before and afters, but they're also seeing you hanging out with your kids and talking about this amazing life. Like, you want to make sure that you're not just talking about weight loss. And that was a huge kind of eye-opener for me. So just make sure that you're being balanced, and you're also talking about what health coaching has afforded you in your life. And it doesn't mean that you have to be making millions of dollars, but let's say you're a senior coach. What's that $500 a month allowing you that you couldn't do before? So this isn't about, oh, fancy car. It's not about that, you guys, because most people are dying for like just a little bit extra. So you speaking to what health coaching is allowing you to do in your life is huge. So don't just post before and afters. Don't just talk about weight loss. Like, please talk about the full trilogy. Like, live and breathe the full trilogy, because that's what this is about. So try to be unbiased and just be like, I'm a stranger looking at my own profile. I think that's kind of helpful. So, and I think that's also how I pique so many non-clients' interests about coaching, because other people kind of just see me living my life, and yet I'm having a successful business. But like, what is she's always with her kids, but she's talking about this. But like, it piques people's curiosity. So remember that people are watching, and they see what you're putting out there. So be mindful about what it is that you're putting out there, and not just on social media, of course, but that's just my tip in terms of looking at Facebook. So thank you.
Love it. You know, what Emily is talking about, this is a skill. It is a soft skill. And a soft skill, as she said, you really make it your own. I mean, Emily's personality is playful. She's so brilliant when she does this. She's constantly layering and talking about it. For example, it comes down to mindset, what she says. You fully have to believe that these folks would make amazing coaches, or that Optavia could really bless their lives, afford. This is how it is. Most people, there's a big gap. They're here on this side. The things that they really want are on this side. In between, there's a big gap. You just so happen to be the bridge that's going to connect them. But you don't even know what it is that they want, because we haven't had the opportunity to explore it yet. So utilize that word a lot. Explore, explore, explore. Have soft skills. Say things like, oh my gosh, what's up, coach? Like, I can't wait for you to start coaching. Hey, you're not ready now, but when you are ready, you're going to be amazing. They put up a before and after picture. Wow, you're just, so many people are going to be noticing. I can't wait for you to start coaching. And it's just dripping. It's dripping. It's dripping. It's dripping. Until one day they say, okay, that was me. This is the majority of folks. But it really takes you living out loud and showing the full trilogy. So as we offer them the opportunity to explore, then we simply set up a time to talk to them and find out where they are in their life, what it is that they want. And then we bridge the gap between what they want and what coaching and how coaching can actually help them do that. Now, if you're not feeling comfortable with that, no big deal. Set that up with your mentor coach. Emily is an expert in this. She could easily do these calls on her own. And yet she sets up so many times to where I get on and do it. Third-party credibility is really, really big. So let's talk about, once they actually decide to coach, what do we do with these folks? So I've asked Global Director Michelle Bamba to come on. Her and Josh are experts at this, clearly, to be able to go global within 2 years or so. So Michelle, can you come on off and spend the last few minutes with us and really take us through what does it look like once we have a new coach, and how can we help them move to senior coach within their first 20 days? I fully expect for new coaches to move to senior coach in the first 15 to 20 days, because it's just not that challenging to do, especially if they have strong support. So Michelle, are you there?
I am here. Hello, you guys. I am
Hi.
excited. I'm still on fire, and like that high from Glow Global that I know a lot of you have, because all of you that have spoke already have been absolutely amazing. And I really hope that that high never goes away, because sometimes it fizzles out, as the weeks go on, but keep that high going, because you guys can do amazing things. So I am excited to share. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Yes, I'm going to be the one with the slides, but that's okay, because I actually took a lot of these slides from Glow Global. So if you weren't there, you're definitely not missing out. So I've got you covered. Okay, so starting coaches. Can you see this, Jamila? You good to go? Someone give me, yeah? Awesome. Okay, so starting coaches, strong. Really, it is fun and simple. If you think that coaching clients to health is fun, wait till you start coaching them as coaches, because really that is the fun part of being the health coach. So we're going to go ahead and start with really finding out their reasons why, and really using that, their reasons and their why for them and against them, really asking their goals, because people are really going to be playing off their goals. You really want to get them to dream again as what they want their life to look like. What are their goals for the next couple of years? Even, something that we do is we ask what are their goals for 30, 60, 90 days, even those short-term goals that's really going to take them to those long-term goals. So there are some challenges of not working alongside of your coaches. One thing that Josh and I are very, very strong about is we are glued to the hip at every single coach that we work with, and we're going to really be there every step of the way until they get to senior coach and beyond. So there's some challenges, obviously, if you're not working side by side with your coaches. They're going to be oversharing, not really knowing where to take it, not getting enough candidates, failing to use the art of asking questions. Now, we know with a health assessment and just any kind of explore call that you want to ask questions. You don't want to be the one to do all the talking. And that's something that you really want to structure into your coaches, is you want them to learn to be the one to ask questions and be the one to listen. Even a lack of actual inviting them to explore the opportunity, and failure to posture the trilogy. If they're just sharing health, we know that this is not a health program. This is a life program. So they really need to learn how to posture that trilogy. And that really starts with you and you posturing that and sharing that with them. Clients starting alone, even making things too complicated. So why do we start coaches well? It gives them the vision of our mission. You start that out soon, then you're going to have them be able to see that. It really gives them that structure to keep it fun, simple, and most importantly, easy to duplicate. Everything that you do, you're going to be duplicating onto them. And when they start bringing on clients, bringing on coaches, you want them to have that duplication as well. And it really gives them the success, so that measurement is exciting and everything's exciting. If you keep them exciting or keep them excited about coaching, then they're going to want to continue and continue to have fun, and really protects our reputation and our offer. So our system, used with flexibility and discernment. This is something that I really love that I took from Glow Global, from Becca Tinter, who was sharing this, and I thought it was pretty amazing. Starting with that Coach Explorer, scheduling 1 to 2 health assessments with them, and have them order their business kit before their health assessment. Get into action. We know that training calls are the most important things that they can do, because they're going to learn from you on how to talk to other people and how to, posture that trilogy and share onto others. Having that meet and greet, we know how important that is. And we'll get into that too, having that within 24 hours. I know we say 24, 48 hours. My thing is, as soon as possible, you wanted to get them in action immediately. Starting point, we have that amazing reference tool that we've been doing every Monday night, and having them really get into that, because that's where they're really going to learn the posture of coaching. And then really help them start their first couple of clients. Be there every step of the way, doing that, night before call, being there doing the check-ins, and really help them start.
Did we lose her? I don't know if I can hear. Let's see if we can get her. We may have lost her. Give me 1 second, you guys, while I actually have her slides and I can pull them up. Just give me 1 second. As Milo's going crazy in the background. Okay. Give me 1 second. This will stop. Yep, that's fine. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Can't see anyone. Who can I see? Everyone's off of mute that I can see. Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah, it's the slide that you left off on.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get into this bad boy. So what Michelle was saying is definitely encourage them. I'm starting off with number 2. So basically the context is this. When we have new coaches, let's get them into action as soon as possible. One of the things that I see that we can definitely do a better job with is sometimes we take too long just helping this coach move into action. We're sending them a million different things. We're tagging them on a million different posts. It's very, very simple to help a new coach get started quickly. And that's getting on the first calls. Who's on your heart? When you started coaching, who do you want to share this with? Who's on your heart? Who's the first 5, 6 people that if we could dramatically change their life in the next 4 to 5 months and we can see their health go to a new level, who are those people? Let's write their names down. Let's shoot them a text. Let's get them on a call right away. And we're going to assist this new coach with facilitating these first couple calls for them. Now, this is where the flexibility comes in, and it's so important. I want to talk about it. Some coaches are going to need a few more calls. Some coaches are only going to need 1 call. I started working with Annika Relaford. I did 1 call for her. I listened to her do 1 call. After that call, I was like, my gosh, she's amazing. There's no point for me to even do any more calls or listen to any more calls. She already had it down. She knew the steps. So it depends on what the coach is, but generally we're going to be assisting them with the first, 3 to 5 calls. We're going to be leading the first, and then we'll have them lead them while we're listening to them. Very important process is actually spending time to have that debrief with them. And if we haven't talked about it, we'll talk about it soon. So as we're working with this new coach, what we want to do is go on and send them the welcome to new coach email. We want to set up that meet and greet, as Michelle talked about, within the first couple hours. get their support team chat going, and really just be there to walk alongside them and be that apprentice for them. Now, on the job training, and this is so important, if you hear nothing else that I'm talking about right now, listen to this. As a new coach, they're brand new. They're developing new skills. They're a little bit nervous. So we want to give them just in time training. Please write that down. Just in time training. What does that mean? That means I'm only going to give them what they absolutely need at this moment. What I'm not going to do is start to give them things that someone who's building towards global director needs. I'm only going to give them what they need right now. I'm not going to go on YouTube and be copying and pasting motivational videos and putting them in there. I'm only giving them what they actually need at this moment in time. We're going to make sure that they have their health assessments. We're going to make sure that they have many printed off and that they're ready to go for these beginning calls. What we want to do more than anything, please be mindful of this, is transfer our skills. Make sure that that we're building their competencies and that we're getting them some wins to build their confidence. Just like our clients, we're moving them into coach fat burning. So the structure of the training calls is this. The mentor is going to edify the new coach on the call. The mentor is going to model the 3 steps to share using the health assessment. We're going to show them how we can awaken by asking questions, how we're going to share our 4 components of our program, and not just the 3 phases, but really talk about it from a trilogy standpoint, not just healthy body. And we're going to model for them how to invite this client into our community to start to change their lives. Now, let me say something. If your coach is not prepared to be on this call with their health assessments printed out, they're ready to take notes, and you do this call for them, you are going to be wasting your time. The whole point about doing this call is to transfer your skills. So you want to make sure that your coach comes to the table already prepared. They have their health assessments printed out. They're ready to go. They're ready to take notes. Please don't do this if these guys are driving to work, they're driving home, they have their kids running around, throwing paper airplanes at them, they can't focus. Then you are going to get some experience with doing all the work for this person for the rest of their career. What you want to do is transfer your skills as soon as possible so that you can give them the confidence to go out there and start helping people within their lives and their networks so that you can go and now do this with the next person. And this is how we get the world healthy. So what's next? We're going to debrief after these calls. Please, again, if we're not debriefing, making sure that our skills were transferred, then we're wasting time. We're really hampering not only this coach and their learning process, but we are extending the time that where we are going to be facilitating for this coach. And if you want to be doing all the work for all of your coaches for the rest of your career, then don't debrief. If you don't want to do that, make sure to debrief. You want to talk about what went well, what would they change, what did they learn, what questions did they write down. And if this candidate is ready after the call, then we'll show them how to order. And if they're not ready, then we'll show them how to follow our follow-up systems. If they don't already have their client success binders, no big deal. We'll start to show them, have them put their health trackers or health assessments off to the side in the binder. And we're certainly going to start to show them how to use their calendar at this point. So coach fat burning, essentially training calls. We're going to do this until they feel confident. Again, this is a soft skill. It's not going to be the same with everyone. Coaches ask me all the time, how many calls should I do with them? It's going to be different based off of who you're actually working with. We're going to debrief shortly after each call, do it for them, do it alongside them, and then watch and listen to them do it. Make sure that the skills are transferred. One of the easiest ways to ensure that your skills are transferred is to have this new coach do a short video. So what I mean by that is, let's just say that we want to transfer the skills on follow-up. Then what I might say to this coach is, hey, go do a 3-minute video explaining what do we do now? We got off this call, this person isn't ready, so explain what do we do next? And by having them go do a short video, say go post it in one of our coach groups, it's going to force them to learn this skill. And now I can see that it's transferred, or I'll just have them repeat it back to me every single time. I'll say things like, okay, they were ready to sign up. What do we do? And then what? And then what? And then what? And then what? Okay, they weren't ready to sign up. What do we do? And then what? And then what? And then what? This way that I make sure the skills are transferred so that they can start to build their competencies. Ongoing support. Decide on timing for social media launch. Again, this is going to be different based off of who your new coach is, where they're at in their competencies. But generally, we want to have at least a few health assessments done. But based off of the coach, it can be a little bit different. Again, with Annika, she moves so fast through everything. We launched her social media relatively quickly. I've had other coaches to where I've held them off for a long time because they weren't ready yet. So show them how to do it whenever it is that you guys do it. Show them how to do it effectively, and confirm that it's the right time. Text the coach the Monday nights and ask them to put it into their weekly calendar. So start to, at this point, start to guide them on what training calls to get on. They certainly want to be on the Monday night calls. They certainly want to be on the boot camps, any ones that they qualify for. But start to guide them on what trainings that they'll want to be on. And then just teach the system. Walk them through the first, all the steps with the first couple clients, and make sure that the system, that they really know it, from the health assessment to ordering to processing to the night before call, the journey to kickoff call. Coach them in the fat burn and support them weekly. Make sure to walk side by side with them. And just review everything that we've been talking about. But here's the deal, and I want to end with this. As we start to, the best way to actually get really, really good with knowing how to support coaches is to bring on a lot of coaches. None of us, if we could have all of our first 5 to 10 to 15 clients back, and some of you guys know what I mean. My first 5 clients, oh my gosh, if I had them now, it would be a much, much different story. But I had to almost go through them to learn how to be very, very good for the clients I have now. So if you want to get really, really good with knowing how to work with coaches, then just make sure that you sponsor with as many coaches as you can. And then that way you start to build your systems. So I think on behalf of everyone tonight, I'm seeing in the chat group here, I can see the review screen again, pretty please. I'll post some of the slides in the group, but I want to get you guys out of here because we've been here for over 20 minutes. But this is all I have to say before I let you guys go, is this company is, we're very, very good with weight loss. There's no question about it. We're very good with health in general, but that is not just who we are. And if we're still sort of thinking that, then I want you to replay tonight's training over and over and over again until you break your concepts that we're just health coaches. What we do for people is we give them hope, we give them their lives back, we provide a structure for them to where they can completely change everything in their life. They can build abundance, they can build tremendous freedom, they can literally have the life right now that they can't even dream of because their dream's not that big yet. They can have complete life of freedom, and they have the right organization, they have the right vehicle, they certainly have the right mentorship. There's no question about it. So please just do not limit what Optavia is by thinking we just help people lose weight. We help people transform their lives, but that's never going to happen until we go out there and we actually seek these people. So some action steps. With every single client that you have that's just rocking it, you're so excited about these people, I want you to circle their names tonight, please. And I want you to do 1 to 2 things with them. If you have not already celebrated these folks with someone on your support team, then I want you to celebrate them within the next 3 days. And if your mentor is not available, then find someone else within your support team that can do it. Now, if you have already celebrated this person, then what I want you to do is I want you to approach them about coaching. And the approach isn't you're going to be a coach. The approach is all about, let's just have a conversation to explore if it even makes sense for you. So I want you to go to those clients. I want you to tell them that you think that they would be amazing as a coach, and you think that coaching could really help them, and you think that because of who they are and the special qualities they have, they would be amazing. And simply ask them, would you be open to exploring it? To just chat about it and see if anything about it makes sense. And I also want you to humbly relay the financial blessings that you've had. And when I say humbly, I want you to do it with discernment, with saying, I don't know where you're at in terms of your healthy finances. All I know is I've only been coaching for this long, and we have been blessed financially with about this much. I still can't believe it, but even more than the money, I think that you would just enjoy getting text messages of people saying thank you. You would totally be amazing. Would you be open to exploring it? That's all I want you to do. And I want you to do that with at least one person every day this week. So we're going to do that with at least one person every day for the rest of this week. You guys okay with that? If you're okay with that, put a 3 in the chat group there. So that's our action step. Now, the last action step is, so many of you guys are so good with doing a 3 by 3 by 3. We're at the 16th of the month. We're more than halfway to finish the month. I want to encourage you to up that a little bit. So we're going to start to do the 5 by 5 by 5 daily. And let's see where the chips fall, and let's see how our months finish out. But what I can tell you, if you just do those 2 action steps that I just talked about right now, I guarantee you, if you did just that every day for the next 6 months, and you worked hand in hand with your support teams, I would be shocked if you weren't really, really close to having a global director business if you kept that consistency. And what that means is, it means a lot of people are getting help. And then just start asking yourself, what would it mean to have an additional $9,000 to $12,000 appearing in my bank account every month? What would that afford for me and my family? What sort of margin would that bring? And even if you do very well financially, how now can you start to be more generous with giving more? Don't even take it for yourself. Just live in abundance. So if you don't need it, great. Give that $10,000 a month away. What sort of organizations could you drastically change with that sort of mindset? So what I'm telling you is, being successful in this company is all about consistency. So those are the action steps for the rest of the week. I'm telling you, if you keep those up for the next 6 to 7 months, then your business is going to explode. Love you guys. We had you on way too late. Thank you guys for sticking it out. Thank you to all of the presenters for tonight, and for sharing your heart, your wisdom, and your love. Talk to you guys soon.